All right, people, once again, I welcome you all to Moments of Matters Arising with the Street Comrade. It remains that our time, my time, your time, our time, the time we used to look at, issues as they unfold world over, globally, and specifically in Nigeria. All right, quickly, Meta and Google have been found guilty for negligence by a Los Angeles court in USA, and they were awarded a cost of $3 million. A 20-year-old chap, was able to sue Meta and Google for, being an instrument, exposing her to things she, wouldn't have thought she would be assessing, at that point in time. So, in a landmark judgment, Meta and Google were, awarded cost, to assuage whatever the young lady must have, faced. Um, Venezuelan Nicolas Maduro appears again in court today in the USA. So the Venezuelan leader who was practically adopted, and moved to the United States of America, today appeared before a judge in the United States. Anglican Church Worldwide installs first female Archbishop of Canterbury. The former Archbishop of Canterbury, I think he was immersed in a particular scandal, so he resigned. I think sometime last year. So the church has been able to install a new leader, and this time around is a female Archbishop, the first ever, the first female Archbishop of Canterbury. Okay, Iran sentences 18 years old girl to death for partaking in protest. The ongoing protest by the Iranian people against the Ayatollah's regime. So a lot has been killed, a lot has been jailed. So yesterday, an 18 years old girl was sentenced to death by the regime, still controlling the Iranian, state at this moment. 30 nations have begin military talks over opening of the Strait of Hormuz. And this 30 nations is chaired by France and United Kingdom. So within the week, they have scheduled meetings on how to militarily have an engagement to open up the Strait of Hormuz for easy passage. Trump names Facebook Mark Zuckerberg on Presidential Council of Advisors on Science. So Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg makes it to Trump's appointment. Denmark's prime minister resigns following failure of his party to secure majority in parliament. So Denmark's prime minister has currently, resigned. Lebanon expels Iranian envoy. Before now, anyway, the issue is that the Lebanon issue is that it is Hezbollah, which is an offshoot of the Ayatollah's regime, that is the problem with Lebanon and Iran. So Lebanon has expelled the Iranian envoy in Lebanon. Okay, the owner of OnlyFans dies at 43. For those of you who know what OnlyFans is, I thought I should bring this to you. That the young man who bought OnlyFans, and remodeled it to what it is today, has passed on at the age of 43. US Trump says there's ongoing negotiations with Iran. But news is still filtering in from the Iranian regime, insisting that there's no negotiation and there's no room for negotiation. So we don't know who is actually telling the truth, or if there has been a kind of factions, within the Iranian system, that probably a particular faction is now working with the United States of America to find, a common ground as the crisis, continues. Iranian women are now donating their golds and jewelries to the Iranian government to see how they can raise money or assist for those who are sympathy to the government in place now. So they are donating their gold jewelries to the government to see how government can, raise monies as it faces its worst times, during the war. That is that at the international scene. In Nigeria, herdsmen has attacked a community very close to the FCT, a community that is known as the Maraba community, and scores are reportedly dead, houses burnt. Army dismisses 8-year served officer over social media post. There's a trending news of a military officer, a soldier, who came to social media and was requesting that the children of the elites, the politicians, children of governors, local government, the presidents, the ministers, that their children should enlist in the Nigerian army to help secure our country. So he was court-martialed and found guilty of whatever it must have been named, and he was dismissed. But the critics are wondering, why should an officer who has just, made an honest statement, it's just a request, why should he, be court-martialed and, summarily dismissed? Some other school of thought are of the opinion that this is like, sending a wolf into the society. How do you expel or dismiss an officer, one who has been handling gun? You just dismiss him and send him into the society. That is, it could be havoc to himself, it could be havoc to the society. So we ask that the Nigerian military should make a reconsideration and find some other ways of discipline than pushing him out to the society. Dangote gets only 5 of expected 15 cargoes to survive as a refinery from Nigeria. This is coming from the CEO of Dangote Refinery. That out of the 15 cargoes they need monthly, that what they used to get from Nigeria is just paltry 5 cargoes. So they source out the remaining 10 from international market, and that is the reason why pump prices of crude products is going up as the war in the Middle East continues. Despite the fact that Nigeria is an oil producing country, we're not supposed to feel the heat. So this now has explained the reasons why it is like that. Nigerian Bar Association's chairman, Chifafam Osigwe, has lashed out at Sowero, the popular human rights activist Sowero, for his unbecoming attitude in the courtroom. Yesterday or thereabout, he attempted to host a press conference inside the courtroom, and a lot of voices have spoken that it was not right, that he should be disciplined more. He should find a way to be more disciplined and not constitute himself as a nuisance. So the Nigerian Bar Association, through its chairman, Chifafam Osigwe, has actually called out Sowore for that attitude, and that is just that at that. International monetary transfer in Nigeria now, going forward, will be done in Naira. It is no longer you send money and somebody will have a dollar domiciled account. The Central Bank of Nigeria has come up with a policy that it is no longer business as usual. If you send dollar, the recipient in Nigeria will receive it in Naira, no longer dollar equivalent. That is what I think the CBN meant by that. Nenadi's Control Labour Party has zoned the 2027 presidential, candidacy to the south, and I think they went further to still insist that His Excellency Peter Obi still have room to take advantage of the Labour Party platform to contest the 2027 election. Soludo appoints state's first female secretary to the government, to the state government, to the Anambra state government, the first ever female secretary to the state government, in the person of Chiamaka Nneka. So that's a landmark achievement. War in National Union of Road Transport Workers organization or union, so to say. as court sacks Oluomo and replaces him with Barowa. So Barowa stalled the secretariat of the union 2 days ago, and fracas erupt, and we learned some persons were injured, and maybe one person was shot actually. So that is that for NURTW. Acting Accountant General of the Federation uh, has been jailed for 72 years. He was involved in a financial, mismanagement and stuff like that. So finally, the court has been able to find him wanting, and he was jailed for 72 years. Fellow Nigerians and followers all over the world, this is all we've got today on Moments of Matters Arising. That time we used to tell you, we used to look at things as they unfold around us, in our society, in our environment. This is me, your street comrade, saying, have a blessed evening ahead. Let us engage in the comment section. We still appreciate your likes and your comments. Have a blessed evening ahead. I remain your anchor, the street comrade, on Moments of Matters Arising with the street comrade. Thank you and stay blessed.